previous posts on this blog. And just for a moment, let me put that back down. We're going to take this article, we're going to approve it, move it through its workflow. And now I have various choices after it's been approved. I can export the article to XML that I might want to repurpose this for web, or I can click here the To Blog, which automatically takes this article, pushes it up to our WordPress blog. And if I come back here and refresh, you see that Lear is now my top article. And the image that I said was destined for web is now here. Let's go back to the article now. And maybe we want to also repurpose this article for an ebook. So here you see I have a publication, Travel Addict. In here, it's a book that I've been working on that's a travel guide of European cities. So there's some cities in Belgium, in France, Portugal, so on. If I look in the Belgium folder, I see an index page and an article template. This is what's doing the formatting for my ebook publication. I'm going to simply take my Lear article that I'm putting into the Xtent magazine. I'm also going to drop it into the Belgium folder. I'm going to reorder these items. So that it comes in alphabetical order. And now you see that my Lear article is here on the bottom. Now I simply just need to change the status of this e-publication. And Xtent in the background is creating this ebook. Another one of the various places that we're adding automation. If I come here now to my EPUB shortcut, you see this is the e-publication that I just created. If I double click it, it opens up in Adobe Digital Editions. I can see the cover page of my book. I see the different chapters in my book. If I open up these chapters, I can see different cities within the chapters. And there is my Lear article that I just created. So now we've taken this article that started in Microsoft Word. We brought it in, we converted it to XML, we sent it to a WordPress blog, we put it into an ebook publication, and now we want to take this article to print. For that, we need to go to our flat plan module. Let's go to flat plan. We're going to open up Xtent Magazine Edition 3. And you see here that we have a 20-page publication already in process. I want to see where my article is reserved for, so I'm going to go to my reservations preview, and I see that my article is reserved on page 18 in the wellness section. Let's go back to our preview mode. As a designer, I simply need to send this page to InDesign. And when the page opens, you can see that my Lear article is already here in the palette. This happened because an editor already assigned this article to the page. Although it's here, it's not linked to anything. I'm going to unlock this article so that it alerts other users that I'm now using it. And I'm going to simply link the pieces that you saw previously in the editor here to the article. I can preview the images here to decide which image I want to put onto the page. I'm going to link my map. Because we associated the image earlier with the caption, I know which caption belongs with this image. So I'm also going to add that as well. And now I simply just need to save and close. when I get back to flat plan, you can see the preview of my article is already there. I no longer have to go to the folder structure though to open up this article. I can simply double click it. It opens up in the editor, only now I can see a preview here on the right hand side. I can change the size of this preview if I need to zoom in or zoom out. And I can still continue to make changes to my article. If I want to see a new preview, I simply hit the preview button. And now you see that my changes happen automatically. Another interesting thing I can do at the last minute without going back to my designer is I can see how many lines of text I'm overset. So if I simply want to make a cut and generate the preview one last time, I'll see that my article now fits within the geometry. I was able to make these changes without going back to the designer to make them for me or having an expensive InDesign license. Because this article could be attached to several pages, I could get a list here of every page that the article is attached to. Currently it's only attached to one, but you can see how nice this would be to have different layouts for one article, different publications. I'm going to close this article and save. One other thing that I can do is double click on the image. As an editor, again, I don't need to go back to the designer. I can simply make the changes to my image myself. I could change the crop. I cannot change the geometry, but I can change the image within the geometry that's there for me. Once I'm happy with how it's set, I can simply save. Back here in flat plan, I can generate a preview. I could also generate a PDF, which I could send to the printer or email to someone if I needed to. Again, all without going back to the designer. There's a lot of functionality here in Flatplan, and you can see some of that functionality in other videos. Let's go back now to the editor. Sometimes I don't always want to start an article in Microsoft Word. I could start it here within Xtent. So I simply double click on the creator, which is just the way to create an article in the editor. And let's give it a name. I'm going to create an article on coffee. I have a variety of different structures here that I can choose from because I might have different structures for different projects. I simply tell Xtent where I want to save this article, and it automatically opens in the editor. So I'm not stuck creating outside of Xtent. I can create it here as well. Coffee is, and then I can continue to write my article here in Xtent. I can add additional tags, so if I'm going to have a caption, I can add those tags here. And as before, I still have the job bag and all of my regular tools. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation overview of the editor and the life of an article. Please feel free to browse through our other videos to see additional functionality.